Hello Penguinauts, I'm the Beardy Penguin and welcome to a preview of Kerbol Rising. Yes, the sequel to Collaborative Warfare is finally here. You had Collaborative Warfare, then you had Fall of Kerbin, which was the prequel to that, and now myself and TapeGaming are working on the sequel. This video is sort of half to build hype, half to explain things, and I guess also, I should have said third, really. Third, to have a little bit of combat, show you how things are actually going to work. Now, for those of you who are confused by the fact that Beardy Armory is working in space, okay, normally it doesn't, because Beardy Armory uses the surface of a planet as the reference point for aiming weaponry. But, because of that, if you put something in around geostationary orbit, it's alright. It works perfectly. Obviously, missiles don't work in space. Tape and I need to find out whether or not modular missiles that you make yourselves will work with guard mode. We still need to do a lot of testing, but I'm just going to give you like a basic little space battle and talk about our plans for it and the like. I am in the middle of writing the rules right now. We have our semi-final mod list. If you're wondering what this beautiful site before you is, this is GamesLinks' Planet Overhaul, which we will be using. So all the stock planets are still in the game. The only one that's really been changed is, well, Kerbin, but you know, we'll get into the lore of of the new series at a later date. I will make a proper trailer and everything. This is just a short little preview. But it adds so many more planets for us to explore. I'll just quickly jump into the map view and zoom right on out. You see Kerbin's got a bunch more moons. It's not even called Kerbin anymore. But yeah, it adds a much more interesting solar system for us, which means we can have some really varied combat. For those of you who might be worried, yes, this space series, we are going to have battles on planets as well. Lots of battles on planets. And essentially, I believe Tape called dibs on one of these planets. Wasn't Sonus... Oh, Drydos? Drydos, that's it. Tape called dibs on that one. I think it's got really nice rings or something. I don't know, I'd have to zoom in and find out. But yeah, so Tapes I think are going to start there, and I think I'll be starting somewhere over by Olum or something. And we'll get more into the rules at a later date. But essentially we'll be slowly expanding out from our starting world. We will not be doing home and transfer orbits. Okay, so we're going to sort of go off an expanse level of technology. If you haven't watched The Expanse, they have a technology called the Epstein drive, which is just a very powerful, very efficient fusion engine, which allows them to just accelerate at 1G consistently and use it as artificial gravity. And that allows them to travel between planets in days or weeks, which is pretty awesome. We're not doing that with all of our spacecraft. We're going to introduce anything called the Kepstein drive, but it's going to make vessels much more expensive, and you need like a certain size of vessel to even equip it. And those are the vessels that can jump between planets. And we will limit how far you can go each turn, and the mentioned rules and such. There is going to be a sort of point system as well to do with how many ships you can launch a turn. So we're going to have a mining system. The more planets you colonize, the more points you get. And yeah, there's just a million and one different things we got planned for it. But you probably aren't watching this video to have me just sort of ramble the entire rule list at you. First things first, let's have ourselves a little space battle. So you see here I've just got some very hastily thrown together corvettes. This using Kerbol Atomics engines, which are very nice. Check that out. Whoa. And using B9 parts, and then just some Vulcan turrets because I just needed to have some kind of battle in space. We'll swap to the quote-unquote battleship. This is using the Coyote Space Industries cargo freighter. This has got a bunch of turreted railguns. Now space combat's kind of going to be a bit of a rock paper scissors situation. So railguns are going to be great at long range, but we are going to make them fire quite slowly. These don't fire slowly because we're yet to actually do any tweaking or anything of the mod. But we're going to make them fire very slowly, but they're going to be exceptionally powerful and unparalleled at long range. But they're going to be defenseless against torpedoes. If someone fires a torpedo at you, a railgun is not going to be able to take it down. And as such, a ship with loads of torpedoes can take down a ship with a bunch of railguns. But then a ship with a lot of laser weaponry, they're going to be helpless at long range because inverse square law, lasers aren't very powerful at long range, but they're going to be practically immune to torpedoes because lasers are ridiculously accurate and they'll stop any torpedoes getting within like a 1 kilometer radius of a ship. So sort of railguns trump laser ships, which trump torpedo ships, which trump railgun ships. That's the sort of thing we're going for. As I said, I'm yet to write up the rules. There will be a point system. We'll sort of limit things. This is very, very early days. I'm making this video just to let you guys know that we are working on it now. Tape's back from being at home over the holidays. We are working on it. We've got our mod list. We've started, you know, prototyping the rules and such. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's just have ourselves a little space battle, shall we? So let's get these corvettes moving in towards the battleship. Let's move towards around this way. There we go, 30 meters per second. So these Vulcan cannons have got a 2.5 kilometer range. So we need to get in quite close. So we're going to start heading in at a pretty high speed. A lot of space battles, I think, are really going to happen at pretty high intercept velocities. Hello, looks like our wingman has kind of lost control of his spacecraft. Yep. Yeah, these are quite heavy spacecraft. I think if we want to use burn together with things like this, we're going to almost certainly need to put a lot of RCS ports in these kinds of things. Right, looks like we're closing the range, so now we're going to swap the team of the battleship, and let's swap over to it, shall we? I think it's going to realise that they're there, and here we go. There come the railguns. Bam! Here they go. Right, they're firing. Let's get back to the corvettes, and let's try and avoid the railgun fire. Whoa, look at that. Okay, so they are extremely powerful rounds, these railguns. They fire them at kilometers per second. So if you get hit by one of these, then you're just history. You get vaporized. But once you get into a close range sort of battle, you're relative... Oh, hello! There goes the wingman. Okay. I don't know if it's even a wingman when you're in space. Is it a wingman when you're in space? I don't know. For some reason I can't fill up the engines. Is this the following one? It's leading. So, I don't know, burn together off. There we go. Oh, that worked. Oh, okay, right. We're going to try and maneuver ourselves in. We've got to get within 2.5 kilometers and open fire. Come on, chain guns. There we go. Fire! Pew, pew, pew! That, yeah, we we went by too fast. Okay, let's see if we can turn ourselves around. And then we can just absolutely... grab it. Okay. This is a difficult to control spacecraft. As you can see, I threw these together very, very quickly. So this is not really particularly indicative of what our space battles are really going to be like. But hopefully they will. Well, I say this is kind of fun, isn't it? Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to keep my target marker. There we go. 50 meters per second. We'll just time warp because the railguns are all facing the wrong way. Da, 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 da. And yeah, this hasn't been a great space battle, has it? But it's just a proof of concept. Right, here we go. Let's flip ourselves back the other way around. Yeah, so weapons aren't exceptionally accurate, especially, you know, generic weapons like Vulcan turrets. They're not really designed to be used in space. So, as you see, they're not the most accurate things in the world. But, yeah, I don't think we're hitting with any of these. But, yeah, we're mostly going to be using, as I said, torpedoes, lasers, railguns, things like that. I don't think automatic weaponry like this is going to be particularly useful in space. But I don't know, who knows? Who knows? I guess we'll just find out. Once we've made the rules, it's going to be up to our imagination. It's going to be a lot less restrictive than Fall of Kerbin, because Fall of Kerbin we had, you know, really, really strict rules on what you could and couldn't build, mainly because we were trying to keep things to a relatively sort of historical sort of thing. The word escaped me there. But it's going to be more like collaborative warfare, so there's going to be a lot more freedom to just build crazy craft, which should be a hell of a lot of fun. Me and Tape are both really looking forward to it. I think he's already coming up with lore and stuff for it, coming up with the name of his new nation, so we're going to have a lot of fun. And almost certainly not use Vulcan turrets, because they're just hopeless. See if we can close to slightly closer. And they're just hopeless, aren't they? There. Yeah, I'll turn the guard mode off and try and do it manually. I think this hull can just take a lot of damage. Should have brought some nuclear torpedoes. That would have been funny. because we are using quite a few weapon packs, and we've had to whittle them down quite a bit though. But there you go. Anyway, so this has been a very unfocused and rambly video, but hopefully you can see how much potential this series has to be pretty freaking awesome. And as such, once I've blown up this Corvette, railguns, do your worst. Oh, hello. Let's try and actually aim the railgun so they can actually hit it. Is it that way? Yep, it is. And fire! Are any of these hitting anywhere near close to this thing? Oh no, they're doing pretty well, yeah. Probably because the railguns are such high velocity. But yeah, as you can see, Beardy Armory is designed for in-atmosphere use, but it can work when you're in space. And I think it's going to make some pretty awesome scenes and some pretty awesome battles. So I hope you're looking forward to Kerbol Rising as much as I am, and I'll see you guys next time.